Now to the efforts to bring Singapore back on board for the TDP's dream Amaravati capital city project and of course other investments. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu and his son and Cabinet Minister Nara Lokesh have briefed the Union External Affairs Minister and the Union government of their efforts to revive the relationship between Andhra Pradesh and Singapore. While Singapore had made the master plan for the project in 2015, that's the Amaravati People's City project, Jagan Mohan Reddy had reversed the Amaravati project after he came to power in 2019. The TDP had alleged that the Singapore consortium was insulted by the YSRCP government, and Naidu had, during a recent visit to Singapore, used his personal relations with the family there, with the Prime Minister and his son there, to convince Singapore to come back on to the project. We believe Singapore is keen on coming back onto that project, but wants the centre's assurance as well. So Ashish Pandey, NDTV's Ashish Pandey in Vijayawada, sets up the discussion for us this evening.
So Veera, if we talk about Chandrababu Naidu's Singapore plan, so Singapore, clearly Chandrababu Naidu held a 5-day visit of Singapore in last week of July. There he spent meeting the president of Singapore as well as the top ministers of Singapore government. And what we have learned that after returning from Singapore, while Nara Lokesh, the minister of IT in Andhra Pradesh, he went to Delhi and briefed central government about his and government of Andhra Pradesh delegation visit to Singapore. Chandrababu Naidu, what we have learned that he is very sure about that now Singapore government will once again come back and invest and as well as execute his dream project, the capital city of Amravati. Remember, in 2014, when Chandrababu Naidu came into the power in Andhra Pradesh, he planned and he conceived the idea of having one single capital of Andhra Pradesh in Amaravati, near Vijayawada, Guntur, in between Vijayawada and Guntur. Later on, in 2019, when he lost and Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy came into the power, Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy reverted the idea of one single capital, and he proposed 3 capitals, one in Vijayawada, one in Visakhapatnam, and third one in Kurnool. He wanted to have the executive capital in Visakhapatnam, and his whole plan was to make Visakhapatnam a full-fledged capital. But once again, Jagan Mohan Reddy has lost, and now Chandrababu Naidu is in power. He is again working hard to bring back the reality of Amravati back on paper as well as on ground. And what he is continuously telling everyone, including media, to the people of Andhra Pradesh, that in next 4 years he is sure that Amaravati will become a reality. He was facing a big hurdle about the finances and Singapore pulling out from the Amaravati plan. Now he went to Singapore. He met to the top leadership of Singapore government, and he is quite sure about that now Singapore will invest and participate in the Amaravati capital plan. He is also sure about that central government will back his idea of having Singapore government on board.
That's right. That will be crucial as well, because what we are learning from sources is that Singapore, Mr. Naidu had used his personal relations with the Singapore Prime Minister to convince them to come back on board. We also have Jyotsna Tirunageri of the TDP. We'll also have Karthik Yelapragada of the YSRCP join us in a bit. Jyotsna Tirunageri, obviously you will be waiting for the centre's nod, but is this project viable? The question that's been raised by the YSRCP repeatedly has been, this is more of a project of pomp, not one of financial viability.
That's their ignorance, Veera. I'll tell you why. Because Amaravati is not just a capital for us. It's, I would say, it's our people's aspiration and also our farmers' sacrifice. We can't just blindly deny that. And also about Andhra Pradesh global identity, the brand Andhra Pradesh that we are trying to create after the bifurcation of the erstwhile United Andhra Pradesh. Now, even when it was from 2014 to 19, our government, when we were in power, we tried a lot. We did a lot of activity there. In fact, many buildings were built. Everything was done. But after YSRCP came into power in 2019, they literally, I would say, demolished and destructed Amaravati. The thought of Amaravati, the thought of capital. Even now, when Ashish was talking, he's saying single capital of the state of Andhra Pradesh. Veera, for me, it seems a little bit pinchful, because any state would have a capital. But for the state of Andhra Pradesh, from 2019 to 24, there was no capital for the state. That was the sad state of affairs in the state of Andhra Pradesh. Now,
Okay.
when why did we approach Singapore? It's not anything of our dream or things like that. Singapore is India's number
Right.
one FDI source, Veera. I will tell you why. Because just in this fiscal financial year of 25, almost, if I'm not wrong, $15 billion was FDI from Singapore. We have to understand that. And also, which contributes to around 30% of the total FDI. So we are not speaking, blind
Right.
numbers. We are not. We are talking numbers that are facts, numbers that are on ground. Now, when Singapore was a part of our Amaravati project back then, there was, Amaravati by in itself is a self-sustaining model. We have farmers sacrifice there and also a model which is built by itself and which actually funds for itself after a little bit of support, I would say. Now, Veera, after our government came back to power in 2024, our alliance government, the NDA government came back to power, we have around 15,000 crores of central support. Even on this, YSRCP has a problem. Till now, they haven't given a clarification as to they are
Unfortunately, Jyotsna Tirunagiri, I don't have the YSRCP spokesperson, so you seem to have a clear road between Singapore and Amaravati and Vijayawada at the moment. Let me just get my colleague.
Veera, just
go ahead.
let me
Finish your
complete
point.
my point, Veera. Well, let me complete. See, why am I telling you this is, after the 15,000 central support, in latest by May 2025, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Sri Narendra Modi ji, has come there and relaunched almost 58,000 crore worth of projects there in Amravati. So we stand by our commitment. We are not backing it. And we are people of substance. We are parties of work and actions.
All right, you're saying your party of work and action. Very, very briefly, Avinash, what's the YSRCP's point of view? Because one of the reasons some would understand that Singapore wants a central guarantee is that they don't want to have the same situation that they found themselves last time in after all the investments that are made there. Very, very briefly, tell us what the YSRCP's opposition is about and a substance of why they are opposing this deal.
Simply, YSRCP primarily they allege that in the behest of capital Amaravati, TDPs indulge in corruption, and that's what the main allegation is. Second, they think that having one single capital in Amaravati is not feasible. They want and they argue for three capital, and they believe that once again they come back into power, they will go ahead with the three capital idea.
All right, you're saying they will come back and go with the three capital idea, which is why perhaps it's the importance for the central government to be there. I'm completely out of time, ma'am. I'm really sorry. We're totally out of time on the show, but you'll have many, many chances to have another face-off with the YSRCP on this issue. But that's all we have time for on the Southern View this evening. News and updates continue right here on NDTV.